Same size or speed, but it does have the same X's and O's with a lot less pressure and just as much fun.
It is a lot of fun. I think, previously I went to a bigger school, but I wanted to come here to just play football and get away from a lot of political things like that. So it is a lot of fun just coming out and playing, and everybody has the same concerns, just winning ball games right now. So hopefully we'll see what happens.
In all, 5 Division I players now suit up with the Bobcats, including 1989 All-American place kicker Ron Schoenfeld, who split the high school uprights for Millard South.
We're all really close on and off the field, and I think just that energy we get, because we're having a ball right now.
Now, last season, Baker College beat Peru State in the first round of the playoffs. So it's rematch time with a tinge of revenge.
We figure we have to go out there and get after them right at the bat, because from now on, I mean, even from the beginning of the playoffs, all the teams that we played are, a step ahead of any team we played when we were in regular season. And you just got to figure we got to go after them.
We worked very, very hard to get to this point, and the opportunity to play Baker is a dream that they had going into the year.
Kickoff tomorrow at Caniglia Field is set for 1 p.m. John Glenn, News Center 3 at 5.
Catterson owns the school's single-season receiving yards mark over 1,000, but they were shaky last week against Dickinson in the playoffs. It looked like the season was over. They were down 27-7 in the second quarter.
Well, I think the kids worked hard all year long. They've set goals for themselves, and the one goal we did set was hopefully they'll make it in the show next week. And that's they had it in the back of their mind. And the kids take a lot of pride in the way they play, and they weren't happy with the first half, the way they came out and played, and they got it together. And we throw the ball a lot, and that allows the opportunity to get back in the ball game.
That game is tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the UNO field, and if they win, they go to the national championship matchup. Peru State likes to throw the ball. Bradley has thrown for nearly 3,400 yards and 24 touchdowns. He's a transfer from Rutgers. Cory Catterson is his top receiver with 56 grabs for over 1,000 yards and 10 scores. The Bobcats are 10-0-1, ranked number 5 in the nation. Tomorrow, the Bobcats play in the national NAIA semifinals. Tom Shea's team is 10-0-1, and they've done it with the run-and-shoot offense. Peru State may throw as many as 60 passes tomorrow.
We put it in 3 years ago. We started out that year running the veer. Our #1 quarterback blew a knee on the second play of the ball game, and the other 2 quarterbacks couldn't run, so we started throwing, and we've been throwing ever since.
And the thrower for Peru State is Nate Bradley, who came to the school from New Jersey. Bradley actually went to Rutgers on scholarship, but was told at the end of his first semester that he would be a linebacker. Bradley said, "I'm a quarterback," and he transferred to Peru State, where several friends were already on the team. Now he quarterbacks the run and shoot, and he tells me he loves it.
I'm sold on it because I like it, and we get a lot of production from, a lot of points at times. And with the receivers we have, it's kind of easy to play. Like Cory Catterson, when you throw to him, it's like throwing into a net. He's going to catch the ball every time. He has great hands and great speed. So, just try to catch people off guard sometimes, just come right at him.
Cory Catterson is the leading receiver, and he played high school ball at Lincoln Southeast. Last year he played against Baker, tomorrow's opponent, in the first round of the playoffs, and he didn't catch a single pass. His approach this time around is to not watch any game film.
I try not to watch, because the less film I watch, the better off I am. That way I can just get a feel for what he's like instead of kind of judging him on film, because you can't get a real good look.
Peru State meets Baker University tomorrow afternoon at Caniglia Field. The kickoff is 1 o'clock. If the Bobcats win, they may play the national championship game here next week.
Final game. A big crowd, and Peru State may get to host the championship finale next weekend, hopefully also at Caniglia Field. Again, the game is tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Caniglia Field, Peru State and Baker. And there may be some out there who accuse me of hyping that game.
What time was it?
But I'm not. 1 o'clock at Caniglia Field.
1 o'clock.
Get out there and see a real fine football team and support a good school.
Okay, but you're not hyping it. Thanks, Dave. 1 o'clock.
On that challenge to heart by stomping Baker College in the semifinals of the NAIA playoffs. Look at the crowd here. The support for Peru State is unbelievable. 60 miles away, and the crowd kept up. We'll pick it up with Peru State up 7-0. Baker cuts the lead, though, on this Jim Schonel 35-yard field goal. Now we'll move to the second quarter. Bobcats respond. Ouch. Scott Gerdes does a good job of taking the hit there. Shows us all how football is really tough. Then quarterback Nate Bradley on the quick 2-step out pattern to Cory Catterson for a 14-3 lead, and the Bobcats were on their way. Then Scott Gerdes does the same thing. Watch him take off in this sprint draw. His big offensive line gives him a crease. He doesn't need much room. He is off on a 40-yard touchdown jaunt. The final score, Peru State 27, Baker 3. A quick note of interest, next Saturday, Peru State will host the end of the NAIA National Championship.
Today, this pass goes for a touchdown. Nate Bradley to Cory Catterson, 17-3 Peru there. And now in the second quarter, the big play of the game, Gerdes gets the handoff and watch him scoot 59 yards. He carried 31 times and gained 252 yards. Peru State rolling it up on the ground. They led 24-3 at that point. And the Bobcat defense simply too strong for Baker, holding a strong rushing team to only 100 yards on the ground. Peru State wins it 27-3, and they'll play for the national championship in Omaha next week. They will have the game at UNO.
Championship. That ticket won't have to take them far. The Bobcats will host the championship contest at UNO's Caniglia Field right here in Omaha next Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Now, to get to the championship game, the Bobcats had to deal with Baker University today. Dave Weber says the Bobcats got the better end of the deal.
On a perfect afternoon for football, air-oriented Peru State beat Baker with a crushing ground attack. Scott Gerdes, a junior from Auburn, Nebraska, broke the school record, 252 yards and 2 touchdowns. The first coming from 3 yards out in the first period, 7-0 Peru State. Baker answered with a field goal of 44 yards from Jim Schottel, and it was 7-3 late in the first period. Peru State held the Wildcats to just over 100 yards rushing. Scott Sullivan had his first of 3 interceptions on the day in the first half. The senior from Lincoln, part of a pass defense that held Baker to 150 yards. Nate Bradley to Cory Catterson on offense, 46 yards to the Baker 13. The drive ended with a field goal from junior Ron Shanifelt, and it was 10-7. Then early in the second period, Bradley to Catterson again, this time a touchdown of 6 yards, 17-3, Peru in command. Late in the half, Peru got the ball back, and Gerdes broke one 60 yards to score. That play really hurt Baker and their chances of coming back. The score at intermission, 24-3. Sullivan's second interception in the ball game early in the second half stopped Baker's biggest scoring threat. He picks this one off at the 4-yard line. In fact, the only points in the second half came off a 47-yard field goal by Shanifelt. 27-3 was the final score. Peru State will now host the championship game, and they'll meet Westminster of Pennsylvania, the 2-time defending champion, next Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at UNO's Caniglia Field. The final once again, Peru State beats Baker University of Kansas 27-3. This is Dave Weber, Action Sports.
Cats lost their first-round playoff game to Baker University of Kansas. Today, the Cats got their revenge in a big way, beating Baker 27-3 to advance to the NAIA Division II Finals. And this one was a great game. Beautiful day for football at Caniglia Field up there in Omaha. And it was a great day for Peru State as well. Scott Gerdes puts them on the board here. 4-yard touchdown, made it 7-0 in the first quarter. Peru State on top. Then Nate Bradley goes up top to Cory Catterson, the former Lincoln Southeast athlete, hauls in the 48-yard pass. That led to a Peru field goal, and it was 10-3, Peru State on top still in the first quarter. Then Bradley to Catterson again. They're a great combination. Catterson with a 3-yard touchdown. 17-3 was the score there. Peru State dominating Baker University this afternoon up there in Omaha. Then Gerdes breaks free. He goes 58 yards. He's been running very well. 251 yards for him on the day. That touchdown made it 24-3 at halftime. It wound up 27-3. Peru State beating Baker University and going on to the finals. Let's take a look at the college football scoreboard again. Peru State winning. They go on to the finals. They'll face Westminster of Pennsylvania next week at Caniglia Field in Omaha.
They host Westminster of Pennsylvania Saturday at noon at Caniglia Field in the NAIA Division II football championship game. And joining us again, as he has the past 3 weeks, Bobcat head coach Tom Shea. I'm not saying that we had anything to do with you guys winning all the way up to this point, but why change things now? You know, you're going to wear the same socks and everything on Saturday that you wore last week?
Pretty much so, yes.
Those good luck charms. Let's take a look at some highlights of your convincing victory over Baker University when you surprised everybody and ran the football. Scott Gerdes did a wonderful job for you, 252 yards but was Baker prepared to stop the passing game? Is that why you ran?
Well, what they did, they went out and they max defended the pass, and they played with 5 defenders inside, so we just stayed and ran the ball.
Scott Gerdes had a wonderful game for you. Your quarterback had kind of an up-and-down game, not as precise as I've seen him play in the past. Was he forcing the ball a little bit, did you think?
Well, he might have been forcing a little bit, but I tell you what, he threw some good balls where people were dropping a few of them, and you catch a few of those, and everything comes into play pretty well.
Scott Sullivan there didn't drop very many. He had 3 interceptions, a school record for you. Played a great game. Here's a great pass.
All year long, Scott Sullivan's a big play. Cory Catterson, week in and week out, is our big receiver, comes up with a big play time and time again. Here he catches a touchdown pass, so we go ahead with our 2nd touchdown of the game.
And you hope Bradley has a great game and is on against Westminster. I know you've got some tapes of Westminster, some films of them. We're going to be taking a look at them later on in the week. I guess all I can tell you now is good luck, and we'll talk to you at the game Saturday.
Sounds good.
Win a championship for Nebraska.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being with us, Coach.
You bet.
Westminster has tradition on its side. They are the 2-time defending national champs. Peru State will not take the Titans lightly. Peru State has beaten 3 tough teams to make it this far in the playoffs. They defeated Baker University last Saturday 27-3. They came out ready to play that ball game after perhaps a bit of overconfidence the week before at Dickinson State in North Dakota.
Well, I think, you know, number one, we looked at Dickinson that way, and I think the kids learned. But I think in the film that we saw, they were playing in the mud and the slop, and, you know, that slows things down, and everybody puts that in perspective. Westminster's an excellent football team. They've won 2 national championships in the past 2 years. They've won 5 national championships. They've gotten more playoff appearances than any other team in any NAIA Division II football team. And in football, you can't take anything for granted.
The Peru State Bobcats in the football playoffs for just the 2nd time in the school's history will play for the NAIA Division II National Championship this Saturday against 2-time defending champion Westminster, Pennsylvania. The game will start at noon at the UNO football stadium in Omaha. 6 Lincoln Southeast graduates are on the Peru State football team, in large part because Southeast coach Chuck Mazurski is a Peru State grad. 2 of those players, defensive tackle Tim Herman and wide receiver Cory Catterson, are All-American candidates.
Oh yeah, he kind of talked me into coming down here, and it's been real fun. Some people think that Peru's just not kind of boring and no atmosphere or whatever, but it's been real fun.
Cory Catterson has broken most of our receiving records here in yards, and he's been our leading receiver the last 3 years. We recruited Cory out of high school and brought him in as a wide receiver, and you know, he's found a home catching the ball for us. He's done an outstanding job. Tim Herman, you know, little has to be said about Tim. Tim is an outstanding ball player, just very physical defensive player, and he's one of the impact players in our defensive front.
Tim Herman originally attended the University of Nebraska on a football scholarship, but now he's enjoying the more relaxed atmosphere at Peru State.
I'd rather be here than any place else right now.
Why?
Just because it's a fun, I guess. I mean, I'm just having a good time. Everybody's playing as a team. They're just relaxed and get out there and doing things right. We get a chance at a national championship. And that's the first time for me ever.
Because of the Cornhuskers, Peru State doesn't get a lot of attention. But Coach Shea isn't complaining about being in the shadow of Big Red.
They have put football on the map in the state of Nebraska, and they've made it strong, not only at their level, but also at our level. Without the impact that Cornhusker football has on the state, you know, our program wouldn't be as strong as it is right now.
Incidentally, the Huskers are giving Peru State a helping hand in the playoffs. Nebraska has loaned the Bobcats 45 pairs of turf shoes since Peru State is playing on UNO's AstroTurf field.
The player to watch for the Bobcats is a senior running back who has had a record-breaking season. The most valuable player for Peru State through the playoffs has been Scott Gerdes. Last Saturday, Gerdes set a school record with 252 yards rushing in the Bobcats' 27-3 win over Baker. Those big statistics even surprised Gerdes.
I mean, I was expecting us to throw 50, 60 times last Saturday. And when I hit the ball 31, I was great. The coaches had that kind of faith in me to get the job done, and I appreciate that.
Gerdes' talents are not just limited to running. He caught 68 passes this season to set another school record. The 5'10" senior from Auburn, Nebraska, has been able to do it all for Peru State.
Scott Gerdes has done everything we've asked him to do, and he's one of the reasons we're here today. He plays wide out for us, he plays slot back for us, he plays fullback for us, he plays I-back for us, he runs back punts, he runs back kickoffs. Scott is the kind of person, he's a winner, and we need him in the ball game to be successful.
Gerdes' college career will end tomorrow with the NAIA championship game against Westminster College. This is the chance Gerdes has been waiting for since he came to Peru State 4 years ago.
This is one goal that Coach Shea had set when we were freshmen 4 years ago, and it's a lot of dreams of the seniors we have right now is to reach this point. And there's a lot of people in the nation that don't really understand what it takes to win, and we've put it all together this year in the last 3 years to really get to this point, and it's a great feeling.
Kickoff for the championship game is at noon tomorrow. Both teams enter the contest undefeated. Westminster has been to the title game 6 times.
In Omaha at the UNO Stadium. The big gun for the Peru State team is junior quarterback Nate Bradley. The 6'2", 200-pound Bradley originally attended Rutgers University, but the New Jersey native transferred to Peru State 3 years ago, and now he's very happy to be playing in a national championship game.
I'm amazed by it. It's what we dreamed about all year. We talked about it, and we're looking for a good game all around. We try to preach team unity and just go in. Also, we try to say about the total aspect, the total package of our team.
Nate Bradley averages almost 300 yards passing per game. And even though he's at a small school, the Peru State players say Nate Bradley is a big-time football player.
He's got the arm and for the long ball. And he's also got the accuracy for the short ones and the reading ability for a major college, I think. Best I've ever seen or caught.
And Bradley says the Peru State Bobcats will be ready for Westminster tomorrow afternoon.
We've heard about them all year, Westminster, but we've been playing some big games over the course of this year and with the playoffs, and I have no doubt we'll play well, hopefully come out victorious.
Well, it'd be great to see a good crowd on hand to cheer on Peru State. The folks down in southeast Nebraska are really excited about this team.
What are their chances, Jeff? Westminster, you said 2-time defending national champ?
They're good, but Peru State is very good too. Peru State played a really tough schedule this year, and they only had 1 tie the whole season long, all the rest victories. So I think Peru State's got a good chance. They've been rolling along.
The defending champs, Westminster of Pennsylvania, in the NAIA title game. The game will start at noon tomorrow at UNO. Peru State coach Tom Shea is counting on the home field advantage to give him the edge in the game.
We had a tremendous crowd last week. We're expecting even a bigger one this week. KOR has made it Peru State Day in Nebraska tomorrow. Mayor Morgan's made Omaha is Peru State Day tomorrow. And, you know, it's exciting. Our kids are just enjoy playing up here. They enjoy playing in Peru, but that home field advantage, it's a plus.
They had a big crowd. A lot of Omaha fans came out and watched Peru State last week. They hope for another big one tomorrow.
I hope so, too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Peru State College is located in Peru, Nebraska. Now, that's just south of Nebraska City. Now, that information just in case you're looking for a party tonight, because the Bobcats are the best NAIA Division II football team in the country, national champs. Peru State took on 2-time defending champion Westminster today, right here at UNO's Caniglia Field. Merlyn Klaus has the highlights.
These Peru State fans at Caniglia Field turned out to be prophetic. But this victory would not come easy for the Bobcats. Early in the first quarter, Kurt Thomas of Westminster intercepts this Nate Bradley pass, and the Titans have a great scoring opportunity. But the turnover simply gave the Peru State defense a chance to show its stuff, and they rose to the occasion, blocking a Titan field goal, and Westminster comes away from this scoring opportunity empty-handed. After a scoreless first quarter, the Peru defense came up with a key turnover. David Foster recovers a Titan fumble inside the 20-yard line. Several plays later, a tremendous individual effort by Troy DeBost to get the ball into the end zone for Peru, and the Bobcats take a 7-0 lead. But Westminster came right back on the first possession of the second half. David Baker launches a 41-yard scoring toss to Dave Foley, and the 2-time defending national champs tie the game at 7 apiece.
Pass is complete to Foley for...
Later in the third quarter, it appeared the Titans would score again. Baker hit a wide-open Chris Osborne, but the ball pops free. Cornelius Riley on the recovery, and it's Peru State's ball inside the 1-yard line. The Bobcats finally put together the go-ahead drive in the fourth quarter. A key play, Nate Bradley to Troy DeBost into Titan territory. Several plays later, Ron Shanefeld delivered a 38-yard field goal, and Peru was on top 10-7 with just over 8 minutes to play. Then late in the ball game, defensive back Adrian Witty put the icing on the cake, intercepting at the 20, scooting in for the touchdown, clinching a 17-7 victory and a national championship for Peru State.
When I caught that ball and got in that end zone, I just knew it was over. It was finally over because it was a defensive game.
One of the greatest feelings I've ever had. We had a group of guys that came together. We made a goal during fall ball this year, and it's a dream come true right now.
Peru State, NAIA Division II national champions.
The Huskers may be out of the national championship chase, but one Nebraska team earned a national crown today. The Peru State Bobcats beat Westminster, Pennsylvania 17-7 to win the NAIA Division II title. It was kind of chilly and dreary at Caniglia Field in Omaha, where the two teams met up. Westminster in white. They're the two-time defending champs, and look at the stuff going on.
To cop the national crown, Merlyn Klaus has tonight's report on Nebraska's national champions.
A national crown by beating Westminster of Pennsylvania 17-7 at Caniglia Field. A great crowd on hand supporting Peru State all the way through the season, including here in Omaha. Pick it up late in the first quarter, the Bobcats march. Nate Bradley works a quick hitch pass to Troy DeBost, who does the rest for a 7-0 lead. And the Titans tied the game into second, though. Watch the play-action pass here. David Baker goes long, deep into the end zone. Dave Foley makes a nice grab over the shoulder for the TD and was tied up at half, 7-7. Now we'll go into the fourth. Former Millard South kicker Ron Shanefeld booted this 45-yarder to give the Bobcats the lead. Even Santa Claus was happy because watch the cushion coming up. Cornerback Adrian Witty makes a great break in the ball as the defense gives Peru State the national championship. The final score this afternoon, Peru State 17, Westminster 7. A happy group of Bobcats to boot.
Game plan as usual. We've got a great defense. We said at the beginning of the year, defense, we're going to get to the championship. Defense is going to get it there for us. Defense did it again today.
Oh, well, I'm ecstatic right now. I'm just happy to be here. I don't know what to say.
From the 9, quarterback Nate Bradley tossed a pass to Troy DeBost. He makes a nice move and scores the touchdown. Peru State led 7-0 in the game. That's the way it stood until the third quarter. Westminster quarterback David Baker throws a 41-yard pass to Dave Foley in the end zone. That touchdown tied the game up at 7-all. In the fourth quarter, the Bobcats came up with a long drive. The big play was this pass from Bradley to DeBost along the sidelines to the 43 of Westminster. On the very next play, Bradley makes a shovel pass to Scott Gerdes. He takes off for 17 yards down to the 28. That set up a field goal from Ron Shanefeld. He booted a line drive that was good for a 38-yard field goal. Peru State now led 10-7. With a few minutes left in the game, Westminster had to throw. Adrian Witty makes a brilliant interception and takes it all the way in for the touchdown. That sealed the championship for Peru State, 17-7. The Bobcats knock off the two-time defending champs from Pennsylvania. After the game, Witty talked about the interception.
As I began to break on the route, the quarterback released the ball, and I just came right in front of it.
A national championship, how does it feel?
Oh, greatest feeling in my life.